The class of 2016 will be the greatest track and field class in history.
Sprints, hurdle, distance, jumpers.
Has the potential to be better than 2001. So much untapped potential.
Noah Lyles,
Vashti Cunningham,
Bryce Hopper,
Drew Hunter,
Grant Holloway,
Anna Cockrell,
Michael Norman.
Whether it's men, whether it's women,
These people are trying to rewrite record books. There's just those athletes that find a way to win. And Grant Holloway, on his Twitter, it used to be Grant W. Holloway for win. He's one of those people that, you can't understate it. No matter what it takes, he finds a way to win. So Grant Holloway, from Chesapeake, Virginia, grew up in a military family. His father, Stan Holloway's track coach at Track Club 757, one of the best track clubs in the state of Virginia. So he got his start in track at the young age of probably 8 years old. Ended up at Grassfield High School. I believe he was one of the first classes at Grassfield High School. His older brother was at Oscar Smith, I believe, which is where his dad coaches at. So his dad actually didn't coach him in high school.
In high school, was there any a breakout point for you as an athlete?
So my breakout year, I think when Grant Holloway really became Grant Holloway was 2015 Outdoor States. It was me versus Quincy Watts in almost every event that I did. Quincy Watt broke the state record in long jump, then I came down, broke the state record, he broke the state record, I broke the state record. Just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. At the end of the day, I think Quincy ran off running his mouth like he usually does. And he was like, I got this. And I went down on my last jump, 25.8. I think that state record still stands. And then we go to the 110 hurdles. Whooped up on them there. Then we go to the 300 hurdles, whooped up on them again. So I think that's really when I started to get my swagger. I really think that was probably one of the times where I think I really started to figure out who I was as a person.
Grant started out in high school as a good athlete. Freshman year, you would say he was good. By sophomore year, he was great. I mean, he was jumping 7'1" in high jump as a sophomore, which is insane.
Is there an event in particular that you consider your best in high school?
It just shows the hurdles. I think the hurdles is my marquee event. I mean, even when I was here in college, I told Coach Holloway, I said I wanna be the best hurdler ever. I had to kind of sacrifice long jump in that sense. So I just love hurdling. I mean, even when I was in high school, I would always sacrifice time from the long jump, time from the high jump, time from the relays, or any other event just so I could hurdle.
Junior year, he was the chosen one. I mean, you could see that he is the future of track and field in the United States.
Where is it, the Holloway brothers or the Lyle brothers?
Yes, Lyle brothers. It's the Davis brothers. I like that.
He ended up going to the University of Florida, full ride scholarship there for football and track. People don't remember that he was actually recruited as a football player as well. I believe he was a wide receiver. And thankfully, he didn't end up playing football and focused solely on track.
Yeah, so talk to us about, you ended up at the University of Florida as being a member of the class of 2016, how the goals are just so much higher, where it wasn't all right, place at NCAA's, you're coming in with this group of freshmen, you're all right, I have to go to work, I have to win a title to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was me, Josephus Lyles, and Noah Lyles, and we were the highly touted guys, all across the board. Florida was okay, we got at least 30, 40 points just from these people alone if everybody does what they have to do. You had Noah in the 60 and the 200 and the 4x4. You had Josephus in the 200 and the 4x4. You had me in the long jump. You had me in the hurdles and the 4x4. I mean, just across the board, So the story was there. It was just more so of, all right, we need to get to this meet healthy and do all that. Unfortunately, Noah and Josephus ended up going pro at the end of 2016. Noah did some phenomenal stuff at Olympic trials that year. So my hat goes off to him. But it was more so, when I got here, it was to prove a lot of people wrong. Every single doubter, every single person that, said I couldn't get it done in high school, it was just to, get that major training under my belt, get Hall of Fame training, as I would like to say, because Coach Holloway is a Hall of Fame coach right now. I think me coming to Florida and giving up football was really one of the best things that I could have ever done. So everybody knew, my struggles from high school, but, they took me in with open arms and they promised that, when I get here, we're going to make sure we win. If we do lose, we're going to make sure, they beat us. We don't just, beat ourselves.
He was jumping like 26, 27 feet in the long jump, winning 60-meter dash nationals at NCAAs, and then basically, being the anchor on their 4x4 to win nationals as well. So, I mean, this guy, like I said, the chosen one, because he could do any event and excel at it at a high level, if not the best level.
Obviously you had a lot of wins as a Florida Gator in multiple events. Would you say the Bowerman was your biggest moment?
I would have to disagree with that one, only because the collegiate record it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. At the time, Daniel had just beat me at SECs, and all the attention was on Daniel. So, I just went in that race, executed for 10 hurdles, and, the time speaks for itself. I think that record's there to stay for a very, 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 very long time.
I mean, Nehemiah's record stood for a long time before you were born, right?
Yeah, before I was born, 40 years. I was blessed to be on a call with Ronaldo Nehemiah last week, and he even said, he thought that record was going to stand until he passed away. But I told him, I was like, hey, as long as I got a lane and 10 hurdles, you can count me in then.
You're talking about 2019. He's obviously undefeated in a lot of those collegiate races. He's going on setting American records in the 60-meter hurdles. And that obviously builds into him going professional with Adidas as well in 2019, and then going on to win a world title in the 110-meter hurdles. You can't get much bigger than the world title. I mean, that's, the entire world is below him.
World number 1, number 2 all time. World record 7:30. Good start from Holloway. Dalmolin in the blue also starting pretty well. Here goes Holloway now, moving away further as the tape comes near. 7:32 for Holloway. Again, has he replicated his winning time from his heat?
They made you wait for that time, though. Miserable. I liked you saying, I'm not touching that sign until you give it to me.
That's bad luck right there.
I know, that's bad luck. You ain't never going to get the world record if you touch it beforehand.
There it is. They've got it. 7:29 for Grant Holloway. At last, the world record is his. Colin Jackson's mark from 27 years ago has gone.
So we saw on Twitter just after your world record that you haven't lost in 60-meter hurdle final basically ever, because you really didn't run it in high school. So is that true?
I believe so. I think my last loss was in 2014 to Isaiah Moore at New Balance Indoor Nationals. I was a sophomore in high school. That race was actually stacked at the time. You had Charles Graham, Isaiah Moore was the other one, and then Marcus Craw, I think, was in that race as well. I'd rather take those losses in high school versus now. Now, my 110 record, I'm slowly building on my resume. I got two big wins right now. A world lead at 13. Well, I don't know if it's 13:04 or 13:07, but I mean 13:0 speaks for itself. So I'm doing something right.
So Grant going pro, he's always been a guy that buys all into whatever he's doing. If he's focusing on his team and scoring points for his team, whether it was high school, youth, or college, he does what's best for his team. And being a pro athlete, it's totally different because it's just you. And you have to go out and earn your paycheck and you have to put in the time.
So then obviously all the training is translating and saying, all right, big year for 2020, but obviously March, everything shut down. What was your initial reaction when things started to shut down, and how that affects, aside from the obvious concern for people and the country, but just for you and your training?
For me, I kind of enjoyed it because I've been going nonstop for about 4 or 5 years now. I never had a break. Every off season, I'm doing something. I'm always trying to figure out ways to get better and perfect my craft. So for me, it gave me a break, whether that was 3-4 months. I was still training, but it's very inconsistent. 2 weeks we're on the track, and then we got to get off the track because someone tested positive. or it'll be like, all right, we're in the weight room, but now we don't have no time for the weight room. And then it's just very inconsistent. I kind of just took 2020 as a learning year, as some people will call it, like a guinea pig. Like, you want to figure out if this works, or you figure out if this doesn't work. And I really kind of just took that and ran with it. Now, I think I'm doing a fantastic job after an incredible indoor season in my book. And then running 2 of my top 3 fastest times ever right now, or in 13:04 last week and in 13:07. So right now, I think I'm doing a great job at maintaining it all.
So in 2021, he was actually going to open up his season in his home state of Virginia, and then he was going to go to the Millrose Games, and then he was going to go to do some of the European races. But unfortunately, with Millrose getting canceled and some other things just kind of getting moved around, he had to basically, as everyone had to do during the pandemic, just rewrite the entire schedule. And basically it was his dad was saying, he's like, yep, in about a week and a half, he's going to Europe for 3 months. And the entire indoor circuit in Europe was the Grant Holloway show. What is he going to run today? What is he going to run next week?
We're in an Olympic year. Hopefully everything goes through. What's your goals for the Olympics? Obviously you want to make the team.
Yeah. Everybody knows me. It's not even about making the team right now. When we get closer to making the team and, starting to taper off and getting focused for the track meet, I'll focus in on that. But right now, it's just, getting better, figuring out ways to, become that next guy that can run sub 13 every race. Right now, I'm just keeping my head low and just grinding. When the time comes, of course, make the team and, of course, stand up on that podium and hold up an American flag again. I think that's the biggest thing. But, you got some highly talented other hurdlers that are trying to do the same thing.
The other question you have to ask is, so just the 110, is there a relay? Is there the 400-meter hurdles one day, the long jump?
Yeah.
Something else in the future?
Yeah, I definitely see myself doing it all. I want to be like Omar McLeod and, join that sub 10 program and everything like that. But 400 hurdles, long jump, 100, 200, shit, if you want to throw the pole vault in that mug. I want to be able to do it all. The main goal is right now is to get better. And when the time comes around August, beginning of August, the end of July, when we're all lined up for the Olympic final, I want to be able just to execute my ass off and be able to hold up that flag again. But right now, it's just to focus and be one of the best 110 hurlers ever to come through the world.